الحمد لله الذي لم يخلق الإنسان عبثا ولم يتركه سدى بل خلقه ليذكره وكلفه ليشكره أناط سعادته وكماله بطاعته وربط شقاءه وخسرانه بمعصيته القائل أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على أفضل وأشرف وخير وأزكى خلق الله خير من جاء لهداية البشر وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أزواجه أمهات المؤمنين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. My brothers and sisters indeed, I enjoin upon you and upon myself the fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says in a verse of the Quran that Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O you who believe, ittaqullaha, be conscious of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala haqqa tuqati, as supposed. Then he said, wala tamutunna, and do not die illa wa antum muslimun, except in state of submissiveness. We pray Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will guide us in maintaining, our state of steadfastness. Alhamdulillah, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala spared our lives to witness the beginning of the month of Ramadan. We were able to start the Ramadan, witnessed the first Jum'ah and other Jum'ahs within the month, and today we are inshallah, witnessing the last Jum'ah in the month of, Ramadan, in the month, in this year's Ramadan. And within the next couple of days, we will end the fasting. And as Muslims, one thing we are taught in our deen, or one thing Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala taught us, is to learn to be thankful, to learn to be grateful to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for whatever blessing He bestowed upon us. In the verse of the Quran, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala reminds us, and we always mention the verse from time to time, reminding ourselves that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala have done a lot of blessings, bestowed a lot of blessings upon us. He have done a lot of good things for us that we cannot be able to enumerate them. We can count them, as He usually remind us. Like in this verse of the Quran, He said, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. He said, if you are to count the blessings of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, or the good things Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala have done for you, you will not be able to list them, you will not be able to cover them. So we are taught by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to be thankful to Allah, to be grateful to Allah, to show appreciation to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for whatever good He does for us. And among the best things a Muslim wish to have in life, or wish to have the opportunity in life, is meeting the month of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, Allah gave us that opportunity. We're able to meet the month. We're able to fast the month. At least, even if we are not able to complete it, at least we are sure, inshallah, with what we have on ground, we were able to fast most of the month. So what is remaining for us to complete is just few days. That is less than 1/3 of the days, which is less than 10 days. So the main point here is this: we want to relate that situation to the saying of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala that لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. That is the verse in Surah Ibrahim. That is verse 7 of that surah. Allah is saying لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. He says that in shakartum, if you are thankful to me, that is, if we are thankful to Him for whatever blessing He bestowed upon us, He said, لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, I will increase you in my blessing. How do we show gratitude to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for whatever good He does for us? We show great gratitude to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala by unifying Him. It is بالتوحيد والطاعة. That is by, taking Him as the only deity worthy of worship and being submissive to Him. doing whatever he commands us to do, and abstaining from whatever he commands us to abstain from. When we do that, he made a promise. And inna Allah la yukhlifu al-mi'ad. Allah never breaks his promise. He said, لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, I will increase you in my blessings. Like today, we in the previous days, we kept reminding ourselves that fasting is like a school where you learn consciousness of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Madrasatul Taqwa wa Darul Huda. That is a school where you learn consciousness of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, where you learn guidance, where you learn morals. So if you learn those things and you show your gratitude to Allah by maintaining those good things you learn in that month, definitely, without being told, you will know that yes, your tomorrow will be better. And one vital thing I keep appealing to myself and the rest of us is this: we find ourselves or we see ourselves in situations that we don't like. Let us use the Ramadan as a means of changing our situation. What we are expecting the government to do, what we are expecting our leaders to do, what we are expecting our mothers, our fathers, our whatever, to do, which we couldn't get, then let us take this opportunity, take advantage of this period to get it. By going back to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, anything you want, you submit yourself to Him, He guarantees you of that. If we want security, we should go back to Allah. We want good economy, let us go back to Allah. And when we say going back to Allah, we shouldn't misunderstand that. I'm not saying we should just go and sit down and pray for Allah to what? To bring security or to bring change. But it is about changing ourselves. Being submissive to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Be submissive to Allah first before even being submissive to the government. Before being submissive to anybody. Because why that is very important is this: if you are truly submissive to Allah, what the authority is expecting from you, or what you are expecting from the authority, you are guaranteed of having that. If we as Muslims, we are submissive to Allah, what you expect from the government, you will get it. And what government expects from you, they will get it. Because Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala commands you with things that will give you a better life. If as Muslims, we become submissive to Allah, like I keep reminding us, then it will be difficult for kidnapping to take place, and you will see on the list a Muslim name occurring. It will be difficult for you to have or to go into the market and someone sells you fake item, and when you are checking the name of this person who sold it to you, and the person becomes a Muslim. It will be difficult when we are submissive to Allah, when we take the lessons of Ramadan. It will be difficult for you to drive on the road and something happens between you and somebody. When that person say, "Shuri Ukbesha," when you check the person, you will not be a Muslim. That is, a Muslim is not an abusive person. A Muslim is known to be a patient person. Because when I say a Muslim, not someone who bears a Muslim name, but someone who lives a Muslim life. Like I said, a Muslim is Muhammad. I'm not talking of the Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. A Muslim is a Muhammad or John or Bola or anybody that his life conforms to the Quran. That is, a Muslim is someone whose name is Muhammad, whose name is Bola, whose name is Achimugu, whose name is anything, but his behavior, his belief conforms to the Quran. That's a Muslim. Not all Muhammad are Muslims. Not all Abdullah are Muslims. And not all John are not Muslims. Not all Bola are not Muslims. You ask somebody, what is your name? He may tell you, my name is Bola. Yes, he's Bola. So what is wrong with his Bola? There's nothing wrong with it. Like I do give us example from time to time. Sayyidina Umar, he was Umar as an idol worshipper. He was Umar as an idol worshipper. So they did not give him the name Umar because he was a Muslim. His name was Umar because that's what the parents gave him. And when he accepted Islam, he maintained Umar. He did not change it. Hamza was Hamza before he knew anything about Islam. And Hamza was Hamza when he was a Muslim. So most of the Sahabas, the names you know them with as Muslims, that is the names you know them with as Sahabas, that's the same name they were having before what? Before the Prophet even started telling them, or they even knew there's anything called a messenger in their own time. Khadija was Khadija when she married the Prophet as a young man, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Not as a prophet. She did not marry him as a prophet. She married him as someone she is into business with, and then she was, captivated by his good morality. That's just what attracted her. Not because he was a Muslim. She did not pick him because he's a Muslim. And when the Prophet proclaimed, taught them the Islam, or preached to them the message of Islam, they accepted Islam, and she was still Khadija, radiallahu anha. And one thing we must fundamentally remember, when people refuse to obey Allah, expect anything is a reality of life. Because when someone disrespects someone higher than you, it is senseless for you to think he cannot disrespect you. So if someone believes Allah exists, and he still disobey that Allah, then yes, you too, he believes you exist, and he believes you are under Allah, and he believes you can't do him anything except what Allah have written for him. But he believes Allah can do to him whatever Allah likes, and no one can question Allah. He still disobeyed that person, and you think he cannot disobey you. You think he cannot harm you. It doesn't make sense. And that's why as a Muslim, solution to our problem is given to us by our deen already. When you are searching for solution to your problem after accepting faith in Allah Ta'ala, and you think your problem or your solution to your problem is elsewhere, then something is wrong with your iman. Allah Ta'ala says in the verse of the Quran that وَمَنْ لَمْ يَجْعَلِ اللَّهُ لَهُ نُورًا, whomever Allah Ta'ala does not show light, وَمَا لَهُ مِن نُورٍ, he cannot what? Have light. So yes, we are faced with challenges, but no challenge is beyond Allah's power. You will hear even non-Muslims, they will say with God all things are what? Are possible, right? Do we believe in that? I believe in that. Yes, with God all things are possible. Yes, whether our leaders, whether the masses, whether anybody likes or not, if Allah wants to change the country will change. It's either we change peacefully or He changes us by force. I do say to people, if He allows you to do something, He's only giving you chance. Don't think you have power. When anything connects to Allah, you must know your limit. Don't allow Him hold you. So we the Muslims, take the lead in changing our nation based on the teachings of our deen, based on our faith, based on the lessons we've gotten in this Ramadan. That yes, you will become a better version of yourself. That yes, within this Ramadan will cross and somebody will look for your trouble on the road and you will tell him, Salama, peace. Yes, in Ramadan they told you to tell him you are fasting, right? So after Ramadan you may not be fasting that day. That doesn't mean you have tickets to what? or license to what? To fight now. Yes, Allah still told you in the verse of the Quran that وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ, the servants of Ar-Rahman are who? الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا, they are those who move humbly on the earth. وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ, when the ignorant ones look for their trouble, what will they say? قَالُوا سَلَامًا, they will say peace. Allah taught you to what? خُذِ الْعَفْوِ, maintain what? Overlooking your brothers or other shortcoming. We should reduce the way, the negative thoughts towards ourselves. Any human being you come across, he has his good side, he has his negative side. So we shouldn't focus too much on the negative sides of our brothers. Let us also try to picture the good sides of our brothers, so that we will not, it will help us in reducing the level of hatred we have for ourselves. When you remember Yoruba, or you remember Igbo, when you remember Hausa, or you remember any tribe, first of all, try to picture some good things from them first, before picturing the negative ones. The negative ones is shaitan that is reminding you, because the negative ones, those ones create space or gap between you and your brothers. It awakes hatred. It strengthens hatred. That's why even in terms of relationship, whether as your wife, your husband, yes, your husband may have his shortcomings, your wife may have her shortcomings, but don't focus on the shortcomings. That's what Prophet told you in a hadith, that لا يبغض مؤمن مؤمنا. A believing man will not hate a believing woman. He says, إن كره منها خلقا. If he dislikes certain attitudes in her, رضي منها آخر. There are those he likes. So picture on the ones you like, to reduce the pain you will have from the ones you don't like. So let's use this Ramadan and better ourselves, better our nations. Let us increase our level of faith in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. That yes, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala have power to change our state for us, whether we like it or not. So long as we fulfill His own conditions. And those conditions are what? Believing in Him and living according to His teachings. By so doing, like I keep reminding us, wallahi, so many things will change in the country. Because by then you are going to have leaders who will make sure, before they think of their own luxury, they will have made sure your own basic need is taken care of. I haven't taken my time to read in details of a story which I just, bumped on the Facebook of a sister, but she's not a Muslim, in her community. That is, there is a bridge, linking one part of her community with another one. She's a councillor, that is local government, at local government level. There is a bridge linking her community with another community. So that bridge, they have not been able to do it. They will do it just some of those little ways, and then so her, the money given to her for her official vehicle, she used the money in constructing the bridge. So if you now have someone who will take the whole money meant for her personal, official vehicle as a councillor to build a bridge, that means the day you have leaders who are God conscious, who take the lessons of Ramadan, they will make sure you have good roads, you have comfortable life, even if they have to begin to buy Tokumbo vehicles to drive for you to get a good life. Because the Tokumbo vehicle can take them to wherever they want to go to. That is, they look at your life more valuable than what? Their own luxury. When you have people who follow the lessons of Ramadan, you will be able to move on the road. Even if your brother is hungry, he will not kidnap you to make money. Whether government give him what he expects or the government did not give him what he expects. You have your own life. You have your own right. He will not use the government as an excuse for wasting your own life. Yes, he commits his crime, Allah will ask him. He will not have excuse for wasting your own life. Because wasting your own life does not solve his problem. It only wasn't his problem. There's one thing we must understand about Allah's rule. Allah's rule, as Allah is protecting others from your evil, He is also protecting you from their evil. Everybody can be a kidnapper. So if you are kidnapping, they can kidnap a kidnapper. Yes. So you go and check. Because if you are kidnapping, when you don't stop for Allah's sake, then the day everybody wakes up and become kidnapper, you will kidnap, you collect money, they will kidnap you and collect your own too. So you too, you will not have peace. You will steal something and they will steal it from you. It's not happening. So you must understand that when you allow evil to flourish, even you yourself doing the evil, a day will come, you will suffer it. Yeah, today we can see the issue of insecurity. Who is safe? Both the small and the big, nobody is safe. Even if you are a security officer now, you are not safe. Yeah, you know, before maybe when you are a security officer, you have the uniform and the gun, you feel you are what? You are safe, Shebi? So now, so long as those who doesn't have the gun are not safe, it has crossed their own level to the level of those who have the gun. Those who have the gun too are still not safe. Because before somebody will write military zone. Jimmy, just that military zone he write, you can't go. You are afraid. Now, right? So not the military zone, they go and carry the military. That's the problem. So when problem is not curtailed, after a while it consumes everybody. Because that's why Allah warned us in the Quran. Islam is a realistic thing. Allah warned us in the Quran. He said, وَاتَّقُوا fitna, fear calamity. Why? He said, لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْكُمْ خَاصَّةً. It is not only those who caused it that suffers it. So, but as Muslim, what will give you encouragement to do good things is this. A Muslim does everything looking at it from the deen perspective, looking at it from serving Allah. You help a non-Muslim, you will feel you are serving Allah. You have reward for it, it will lead you to Jannah. You save life, it is ibadah. You remove the injurious item from the road, it is ibadah. Marriage is ibadah. Everything you do as a Muslim is what? It's ibadah. It makes you to feel happy. Unlike other people, maybe we look at it more from material gain. So when the material gain didn't come, at least they feel they what? They gain nothing. But you as a Muslim, you cannot do any good act without gaining better than what you've done. So we need to be patient. We should avoid evil acts because it is consuming all of us. Even the person doing it is not safe. Because if he is a kidnapper, he is the one who knows himself as a kidnapper. The day another person will kidnap him, the person will not know. And even if he knows you are a kidnapper, you are not in his own gang. So that will save you. Cult members attack other cult members. So kidnappers can kidnap kidnappers, and armed robbers can rob armed robbers. So may Allah Ta'ala, use this Ramadan as a means of changing our nation for us. We are not waiting for human beings to be the one forcing us to do the right thing, but rather we as Muslims, we want to submit ourselves to Allah Ta'ala willingly. We want to do what He asks us to do because we feel He deserves respect from us, because we feel He deserves obedience. We don't want anyone forcing us. We are not going to stop evil things because of any human being. Our life or our actions is worth more than anything anyone can pay us. The only person who can pay for your deed as a Muslim is Allah Ta'ala. May Allah Ta'ala unite us and save us from this situation we are in. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala, amma ba'd, ibadallah, usikum wa nafsi bi taqwallahi azza wa jalla. Our brothers and sisters in deen, let us not lose this opportunity. Because when we lose this opportunity, we are not sure whether we'll be able to meet another Ramadan. It's a very great opportunity for us. It's what we faced before this time. We can change those things if we want to change them. And like I said, if you think Allah cannot change your state, then it is foolish for you to think any human being can change your state for you. Way that, check your belief, check your iman. If you think Allah can change your state for you, and you think any human being can change your state, you're wasting your time. Yes, you read through the messages of Muhammad sallallahu, but you don't understand them. The Prophet told you in a hadith that you should know, if the entire world will come together, the entire community, they will come together, that they will benefit you with something. They can't benefit you with anything except what Allah Ta'ala have written for you. And if they all come together, that they will harm you, they can do you no harm except what Allah have written for you or written against you. The pen has been lifted and the paper have dried. Because I believe part of our problem too is that we feel it's not Allah that is what? That is responsible for how we are going. It's Allah have given us guideline. Follow Allah's guideline, you will have peace. It's just like now. Anyone who tells you there is no money, it's not true. There's more money now than before. Go and check and see. Yes, as some people are crying of poverty, some people are elsewhere wasting money. Go and check. Because Allah has created the world. There's one thing with Allah's design. He created what we need before He created us. That is what we need. He didn't create what we need after creating us. No. What we need, He created those things before He created us. It's just like the baby. It's what the baby needs in the mom's womb. Is in the the mom is there before the baby start developing. And as the baby is coming out of the womb outside, what the baby will eat, even if it is baby food, we go to Spanish supermarket, is food. The baby, if you want to eat the whole world, is there for it to eat. If people will tell you there's poverty, go to the market, there's food inside the market. You come to the market, no food, no rice. There is. Maybe somebody will tell you he cannot buy. Yes, as he cannot buy, somebody is there who have filled one store there, complete, closed, and nothing happening with it. Yes, one is looking for one derika to eat. Another person have closed one store there. Maybe he does not even know when he's going to open it, because he's still calculating what to do. Whether he's going to share it, whether he's going to sell it, whether next year he's going to sell it, maybe when the price goes up. Yeah. Allah have created a world, He have balanced it. When we refuse to go by the way He balanced it, then we have problem. See, like the case of Prophet Yusuf. You see, as Allah guided him, He saved his people and saved other communities around. Yes, they are going to have 7 years without enough produce. But before that 7 years come, Allah have created an avenue for them to have what they need for, within 7 years, first 7 years, He is providing them with what they need for more than that 7 years. So He has given them extra. So He has given them what is meant for next 7 years. After the 7 years, what they need for the next 7 years after is He has provided them. They will run into problem if they couldn't get somebody like Prophet Yusuf. That's what they would have suffered. So that suffering did not come because they had no produce, but because they did not have what? Expertise to solve that situation. Same thing happening to us. The insecurity, we can solve them. It's not a rocket science. It's the question of, first of all, each and every one of us. You check yourself. Are you doing the right thing? Check yourself. Are you harming others? How do you drive on the road? How do you throw things on the road? How do you treat your neighbors? How concerned are you about their needs? Today, go to the streets, children are wasted on the street. No one cares. Then tomorrow you have insecurity and then you feel the government. What those children you are seeing, it's a time bomb. It's a time bomb. Nobody bothers about their lives. Yes, you say street children. Yes, street children, don't worry. You refuse to help them with 100,000 now. They will meet you to collect 100 million later on. And you will be giving them and you will be begging. You will be saying, sir, sir. Maybe you will be praying for themselves. Yeah. You refused to help him with 10 naira. His parents couldn't send him to school. You have means of sending your own children to school. Send that one to school. What's stopping you from sending? People like Baba Atini Folawe, may Allah Ta'ala forgive and grant him Jannah. Yes, today, yes, we have a place to pray. Because first of all, he thought of having a place for orphans to be what? To be taken care of. How many of us can give such a property just for orphanage? How many of us? Just sit down and think. Property worth more than $1 billion. Yes, you can see the hotel behind you. You can see the things around you. How many of us? Some of us have houses wasting elsewhere. They don't even know what to do with them. And people are on the street, no place to live. And you expect security to be there. You think only government solves problem. The fact we have to continue telling ourselves the truth. The government has its part or has its share of the fault as to what is going on. And each and every one of us also have part of the share. The government have their responsibility, you have your own. You refuse to do your own, they refuse to do their own. They don't fear Allah, you too don't fear Allah. What's the difference? So if you want to solve it, all of us have to fear Allah. That is why Allah said, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So before you shout at the government, you in your own house, ask yourself, how do you treat your neighbors? You fill your stomach, and your neighbor's children are wandering around, and you think everything is okay. Your neighbor has right over you. Even if it is a loaf of bread, you can give them. You've done something. 10 naira, you can give them something. Teach your child. You give your child package for school, break food. Teach him to share with others. Like I do give example. Parents train their children to be stingy. You feed your child from the house. He goes to school after taking breakfast. You package lunch box for the child and you are telling him don't share it. Like I do say, allow him to share it. If you like, let him share everything. He will not die. He have taken his breakfast. He is coming home to take his what? His lunch. So even if he did not eat between that, he will not die. If he needs it, if he shares it, finish. If the hunger knocks him the first day, then he will know that he will learn the lesson that I am supposed to leave part for myself. Don't bother yourself. The situation will teach him. But your own lesson will teach him to be wicked. It's very painful when you have Muslim communities and you are seeing some things happening. It makes people not to have good understanding of what Islam is because they don't see the Islam in the life of the Muslims. In the office, you're supposed to help your colleague. But sometimes you feel happy when your colleague is falling down. Yes. There's one thing. Even if he falls from his own office, that will not elevate you. There's one thing with life. One thing our father used to tell us. He said, the food that is not your own, even if you swallow it, you will vomit it out. May Allah Ta'ala guide us all right and make this Ramadan, an eye-opener for us, a means of changing our nation. A situation that will make us to turn back to Allah, the person whom we want to submit our lives to. We are not submitting our life to any human being. We are submitting our lives to our Creator. He owns us and He can change our state. And we want Him to change our state for us, but we are also, inshallah, promising Him that, inshallah, in this Ramadan, before the end of the few days remaining in Ramadan, and after Ramadan, that we are going to live our lives the way He wants. And He guarantees us that He too will give us more than what we want. Because He says in the verse of the Quran, Man amila salihan, whoever does righteous deed, وَهُوَ mu'min, he's a believer. He said, فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا. We are going to make him live a better life in this world. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ, we will reward them بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, with something better than what they do. Muslims can live in the lands of kuffar and they are still comfortable. Yes.
Muslim can live in the land of kuffar, is still okay. Because Islam teaches you how to stay everywhere. Because Allah who created you, though He didn't create you alone. And you can never have a world belonging to only Muslims. It is not possible. Because Allah told you, وَالَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ فَمِنْكُمْ كَافِرٌ وَمِنْكُمْ مُؤْمِنٌ. So before He even mentioned it, He mentioned them for you so that you come to your senses. That's what makes a Muslim different. A Muslim can live anywhere, in any group. The first migration of the Muslim wasn't from the Muslim land to Muslim land. It was from Muslim land to where? To Christian land. And they were directed to go to the Christian land by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's what made him succeed. But not the kind of Islam we want to do today. It's just mouth, but the action is not there. The action is more important. They say action speaks louder than words. We make too much noise. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala guide us and accept our fast and accept our ibadah. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي لعلكم تفلحون.